And we should be able to be heard. And both of us. There we go. Ta-da!
Magic!
Wow.
Wow. It only took us way too long.
Good God. And look at all we have to show for it. This incredibly high-quality stream.
It's beautiful.
It probably is. I don't actually know.
I'm waiting for the video to load. I have ads right now.
You have ads? You don't have Twitch Prime? You don't have
not.
Twitch Prime, which allows you to get a free subscription to the Twitch channel of your choosing?
Do you want me to use my Prime sub to your channel?
If you don't use it, it's practically going to waste. It's a free sub that you get for having Amazon Prime, and if you don't use it in a given month, it just goes to waste.
I use it. I just don't use it on your channel.
Bitch! How could you do this to me live on Twitch? How could you betray me?
You don't stream that often on Twitch anymore.
Because no one supports me. Well, hello, guys. Can you hear us goodly?
Do we sound beautiful?
Do we sound beautiful? Do we look beautiful? That's the objective here. It still bugs me that these it must just be because one's a cam link and one's the capture card.
It's gotta be.
They've got like different color profiles. But thankfully I no longer look sunburnt.
You looked like a lobster.
I was like bright beet red, and now I look relatively normal. I think it was a lot to do with my camera or my computer's display settings as well, but you look good. I look good-ish. We're all good here. Everything is fine. So, hey, welcome everybody to this stream where we're testing out absolutely nothing. But I'm here with Tyler because Tyler and we have a podcast called Go!
You screwed me! What a bait!
Called Go! My favorite sports team. So we're running this through our basic streaming setup right now, of which I am very pissed because I just bought this thing and apparently they're coming out with another version of it in a week and a half, and I'm like,
it's
why?
9 days,
It's
right?
9 days away, and I'm like, I always do this where I buy a piece of technology and then the next version of it comes out immediately afterwards, and it's not like I need it. This one works pretty well. We've used this for the entirety of Go, My Favorite Sports Team so far.
Yeah, and it's been great.
It's been great. It's a workhorse. But God damn it, I haven't looked up at the features of the other one, but if it does have other features that are going to be good,
I wonder if it's like
ideal.
more compact because there's a lot of like wasted space on that one.
Yeah, I think actually it is, but you know, it's not terrible. We actually have desks now. We're here in Go headquarters. We have not got our big neon sign yet. We have a TV, but we don't have it set up so that we can throw things up for you guys to look at just yet. This is a very bare bones way of doing it at the moment. But we are going to get there eventually. For all you Go heads, what do we call?
It was the Myler Tarks.
No, let's not call them that. Let's not do that. They'd be embarrassed to call themselves that. Like, because, we'll figure it out later. It's something that'll come naturally, I
feel like maybe we could have them vote on it or something.
No, they never know what they want. See,
that's
people think
true.
they know what they want, and they think they want a choice in the matter, but the truest way to give people what they want is to choose for them. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's like we dictate what they want.
Yeah.
And they're happy for it.
100%.
100%.
Spoon feed them.
Spoon feed them. I'm also happy to report that thanks to you guys, we are now, once again, the #1 sports podcast in the world, ranked officially on the charts. This somehow, I'm not lying about this.
On Spotify, we
On
are
Spotify,
number 1 in sports.
if you go in the sports category, me and this guy are the #1 sports podcast in the world. How? Not a clue. But hey, shit happens.
We need to go higher, though, you know, because we're only like number 46 in,
What other
in
number?
overall podcast.
But yeah, that's okay though, because you know it's kind of always been the idea that this one is going to be like a slower burn.
Oh yeah,
because like with Distractable, like I came out of the gate hard and fast with that one. Like fucking listen to this, and people were very much like, even if they liked it, and this is where you guys reverse psychology is rampant amongst you is the harder I'm like, you'll like it. It's clearly something you'll like. It's Bob, Wade, and I, and you like the videos that we're in, so you'll like this. And everyone's like, no, I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. No.
I hate it.
Yeah, exactly. But that type of crowd needs to have the idea bashed into their brain. This type of crowd, the Go crowd, we know IQs are actually higher. We've statistically analyzed everyone's IQs of people that listen to either podcast. It turns out people that listen to Go, the IQs are about 20 to 30 points higher on average. Outliers range from like 15 points higher to 80 points higher, actually. Those are the outliers, though. So it's really incredible. The average intelligence is way, way up for Go listeners. Average intelligence way, way down for distractible listeners.
Do you think that has to do with the content?
What are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything.
Mr. Master's degree? Oh, just because I have a master's degree.
Speaking of which, somebody in the Reddit was like, wait, Tyler said he has a degree in sports business, but then he says has a degree in sports administration. I'm like, guys, administration and business are synonyms.
Yeah, exactly. No. Sorry, we got a distractible listener, popping in and out there. They don't understand the nuances of critiques like that. It just is the way.
That's the funniest thing is because Bob's degree is technically higher than mine.
What's his degree?
He has a Juris Doctorate.
I don't even know what that is.
I believe that's what it's called when you have a law degree.
Is he a lawyer?
No, he didn't take the bar.
Exactly, and he's the first one to tell you he couldn't cut the mustard on that test. So he's in the same boat as me, dropped out. It's fine. There's no
Wade got a philosophy degree.
I want a very funny thing. Recently, I was invited by Suzanne, who worked in YouTube Originals, to speak at a college class that she teaches. It's a graduate class. It has to do with video on demand strategies, I think was the name of the class.
Oh, interesting.
And so what I realized when I was there was me, a college dropout, was invited to talk to college grad students about video on demand strategies, which amounts to YouTube and like Twitch Vods and stuff like that, which is, it was a very surreal moment that I'm like, at what point did I become qualified to speak to collegiate people, in any way, shape, or form?
I mean, in all fairness, you've always been somebody that's worked well as far as like self-educating about things that you're passionate about and wanting to get better at.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you do it with guitar. I've seen you do it with singing. I've seen you do it with
I've
like,
given up on
YouTube
all
and
of those
everything.
things, so I don't know if those are the best examples.
Well, that's because you get to a point and you're like, that was about where I wanted to go. And they're like,
exactly. Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes. For those of you who are here just joining, I know that a lot of people don't know what's going on. This is a test stream. Just because we spent a lot of time getting all this hardware up and running, we actually realized one $500 piece of equipment is a big old brick of shit right now. Not useful at all for our purposes. We'll hopefully try to return that. But we've got specialized cameras. They're cameras. Why do I want to try to qualify
everything? What do you do?
everything?
You hand build them? Like
I don't know,
custom.
man. Look,
they're specialized.
I'm trying to make it seem like I did something. What this turned into is a setup that is lesser than my normal recording setup. So I need to feel like we actually accomplished something.
Given how much work's gone into this,
show you on your camera. Show this piece of equipment, and we're not saying it's a bad piece of equipment. But
no.
In looking for what we wanted to do, we were like, oh, okay, this will be perfect. It's one device. It's like the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro. It's got 4 HDMI inputs, and we were like, oh shit, yeah, that'd be like having 4 Elgato like cam links or capture cards. It'd be like 4 capture cards in one. However, that's only really good for recording 4 channels at once. When it comes down to broadcasting, you can switch on that board, which if we were a TV show, sure, that'd be great. We're not. So having individual control and being able to do this simple thing where it's like 2 side by side, it may be possible with that, but I don't know. So until I learn more about it, or we return it. We're just going to go to the fallback of what this is.
I know a few different workarounds that I had thought of in my head, but all of
Mm-hmm.
them involve using another capture card and basically doing an HDMI splitter going into each.
I didn't understand anything you said. I tuned it out, you know. So it is what
It's
it is.
just standard for, when we're recording podcasts.
Yeah, I like Blackmagic stuff. I like their cameras. I feel like their approach to technology and especially like video production stuff being on affordable level. Like you can get a cinema quality camera, a camera you could shoot movies on, which to be perfectly honest, you could shoot movies on a cell phone nowadays. But that like they have camera equipment that is much more affordable than say a Red camera, which is a $25,000 camera just for the camera, not including any of the accessories. Wow. Whereas their camera is like in the $3,000 to $5,000 range. And it has most of what you need. You still need accessories, lenses, and stuff like that. Those are still going to run you. But it reduces the bar of entry, or the is that what it's called? The bar of entry? That's not the right word.
It's not the bar.
What's the bar of it? The
barrier.
Barrier to entry. That's it. The hurdle of entry that people have to hurdle over.
New sports term.
Exactly. Yes, I'm trying. I have to make a TV show. Oh God, no, I don't. I already did that.
You made what? Space is like 2.5 full feature lengths.
It's about 6 hours and 57 minutes of runtime. That is both a TV show, a full season of a TV show, or 2.5 movies.
Yeah.
Or 2 Lord of the Ring movies, if you really wanted to say it that way.
Or
which I know you don't like. I'm sorry.
Or 3 Netflix shorts.
Exactly. Actually 4. Because if it was actually it could be 4 movies.
It could
be
an
hour and
like
a half
hour
a piece
and a half.
would be 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm good. Thank you. For the time being, I'm going to focus on smaller projects so we can actually get under our belts, like this podcast.
Yes, and the YouTube channel and
the YouTube channel.
everything
Yes.
to that.
So we're streaming here for now. We will be streaming on the Go YouTube channel once that gets up and running. So all of you here who are of the distractible type, and the drool is already starting to spill out of the mouth. Don't worry, we'll be elsewhere.
Bob already called me out saying, "Oh, you had some choice words for distractible," and I'm sitting here like, I didn't say a word.
Yeah, man, what was wrong with you just spouting your mouth out about distractible? Hang on, I gotta become Mark from Distractible real quick. Hang on, let me hold on. I'm shifting.
I know what you're gonna do, aren't you?
I'm blue now. Hey, you said something about distractible? How dare you? I'm blue from a vitamin deficiency. You think that you can just insult distractible listeners? How dare you?
I did no such thing. You were putting words into my mouth, much like your distractible stories.
Your sentence was long, and I didn't pay attention to it, but I feel it in my bones that you're an asshole. So, apologize.
I'm sorry that you think I'm an asshole.
Apology accepted. That's the best apology I've ever heard. All right, I'm going to save that one.
Oh my God, you're so blue. I just loaded on my screen. That is so good.
Yeah, you better be careful. I hear that distractible Mark is around the corner. He could strike at any moment. Very scary. Anyway, yeah. Oh God, we had more points that we were going to talk about. Oh, so for those of you who do listen to the podcast, there are a few things that we are going to do to steadily. I hesitate to say improve because it's already a perfect product, but we have many ideas in the future that we're going to be doing for the podcast. We have videos when the YouTube comes out. We're going to do video ideas. These are going to be real simple things. If you're expecting like incredible content, don't. But it's going to be like stupid videos that Tyler and I are going to film in our backyard here. And we're just going to we're going to injure ourselves probably in many ways. if you remember when Tyler first came out, what was the first video? Was it the popsicle video that we filmed first?
No, we filmed the Tyler's Here one, and then we made from that footage. We also made the little bitch
little
sound compilation.
Little bitch.
I still go back to that, and I laugh so hard at that music.
I don't know if anyone here remembers it. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Yeah, we're gonna make that video because I owe being Mark's butler for a day.
Yeah, we were trying to do because we've been setting up a lot of stuff, and it's just been kind of like in our spare time. If you guys remember, maybe you can pull up this as a source in.
Well, and we've both been busy because like I'm on a show almost every Saturday.
Yeah.
And then you've had well, the bet happened before Space came out, and all of the Space stuff happened. Mm-hmm. And then we've just both been busy. Mm-hmm. And then obviously getting this studio set
Maybe
up
you could stop being such a little bitch.
Oh God, that's not.
Oh, did you just break everybody's ears?
I probably did. I apologize. This is some terrible closed captioning. Back when anybody could do closed captioning.
Oh yeah.
And they were just like
Had jokes on that show. Yeah.
That you can find that video. Me calling Tyler a little bitch the whole time.
I mean, I
That's
guess I
pretty
could.
much it.
I forget what it was. Oh, I know exactly the context. This is crazy. I remember this.
I remember it too, but you go ahead.
We were talking about me climbing into the tree with the camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want to like damage the camera, and I can't really climb with one arm. And then you're like, what, you little bitch?
No, and I remember your excuse exactly. It was like, well, the nuance is very interesting of me climbing that tree. It's
very nuanced tree climbing.
It's a nuanced tree climbing, but it's interesting that you suggest that.
So the funniest thing about that, you've brought this up to me multiple times, and every time I find out that I'm using a word a lot, because there's a point like in 2016 or 2017 where you're like, that word, you're using that word a lot, and then I stopped using that word and I replaced it with a different word, and now it's nuanced, and I don't even realize it until you pointed out.
I didn't point it out. It was actually the subreddit that pointed it out first, so it wasn't actually just me. It was everyone at home. And that reminds me of another little bit we're going to do, which is why we need those of you who listen to the podcast, which should be all of you if you are dignified enough to do so. I do want to get winners number one for the most dignified, because there was some very, very classy photos that people made.
Very distinguished individuals.
Distinguished, nuanced individuals. But if you want to go to reddit.com/r/GMFST,
Yes.
you can. What I want to do is there are people, especially in the sport world, that have strong opinions about sports, and they have strong opinions about athletes, teams, whatnot. And Tyler here, he is the resident expert in terms of sports, but I am not. However, I can act as a vacuum, a facilitator for which your opinions can be ejaculated out of my mouth and straight into Tyler's ears, so that your opinions can channel through me. I always want to be a lightning rod of hate, and I want to be that on this. So if you have a strong opinion that you want to confront Tyler about, use me as your psychic medium to get your thoughts and opinions straight to him. Every
if
week.
you disagree with me, if you think I said something wrong that you think is very wrong,
yes,
this is your opportunity to present that to me,
and it will become a regular feature in the podcast if there's enough for it. If it's not like a topic worthy of debate, obviously we won't. But every week, I believe the moderator there posts a discussion page of an episode, and week by week, I will read through that, and I will channel some of those opinions and any other random opinions that we find floating around in the ether straight at him, and I will use it with all the vitriol that I will feel it psychically, the vitriol that you want to ejaculate towards time. Am I using that word correctly? The frightening thing is I am using that word correctly.
I know, but I feel like there's more fitting words.
Nope. Not here. Not here, my friend.
Present?
Not for the opinions I am ejaculating towards you. That is the only terminology that can be used for that.
Yeah, my favorite thing that I came across was the realization when I talked about hockey. I'm like, I don't know that much about hockey. I never played hockey. All of the other sports we have talked about and had primers for, I physically played and or coached. So going into hockey, I literally hopped on a phone call with somebody who works at the Tampa Bay Lightning, a friend of mine named JP, and had him dissect hockey for me. And we were supposed to record the next day, but then stuff happened and we didn't record for a week. And so all of that information got lost over time.
Which is, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard if we're going to retain the #1 sports podcast in the world.
Yeah.
If we want to keep that title.
Hey,
don't point at me.
I was studying today.
Hey, I signed up to be the idiot. I have to retain that title. You know how hard it is to not let brain cells grow in my brain? You know how hard it is to maintain this level of idiocy? I mean, distinguishedness.
Yes, very distinguished.
Who do
idiocy.
I think I am? Distractible Mark.
I mean, Roman Kiwi, the goal is to talk about all of the sports, but there's so many sports in the world. It's hard for me to be able to keep up with every single one. Recently, I've been educating myself on cricket. I'm trying to educate myself better on Formula One. I need to educate myself better on soccer or football.
Football? You talking about football? I like football.
That's good.
What's cricket?
Cricket's the grandfather to baseball.
Grandfather? Is that one of them British things?
Yes.
Yep.
Grandfather is British, 100%. No, but like I have to teach myself more about sports as I go along. It's not that I know every rule to every sport. I've never played cricket. I've never played lacrosse, but I know a good bit about lacrosse. I know a good bit about soccer, but even that is still different because of the different levels and the different leagues. And I'd prefer to talk about Premier League over Major League Soccer because Premier League is more world renowned. Australian rules football is going to be a fun one that I think we can talk about versus Canadian football and how they differ from American football.
Which one is the one that's played like inside? Like there's am I thinking of Starship Troopers? I think I'm thinking of Starship Troopers in the weird football. Never mind. That's a movie. It was just, you remember? Have you ever seen Starship Troopers?
No.
Okay, this is we had an idea to do like fictional sports. I don't know if we've recorded that
sports
episode.
we started and then we couldn't figure out where to go with
exactly. So I think we should come back to that because there are many other examples. If I do some research, which I've refused to do, I've done a vow of no research for this podcast. But maybe I should.
You have been the more educated in one episode.
Yes, in just one.
Just one.
Just one. And man, it was hard. But for Blitzball, is that what it was called? No, we're not talking about.
Blitzball is Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Blitzball is Final Fantasy. We must have talked about it at some point because they know about that.
Well, you brought it up at one point and said we'll talk about that in a different episode when we talk about sports and media. We also talked about talking about cheerleading, but I was going to wait for the cheerleading episode for later when it becomes the fall season, which is when cheerleading generally happens. So
for right now, once again, let me make sure that subreddit is actually the correct subreddit.
I have it pulled up. It is.
So it's GMFST is what we're using as the official Go subreddit.
Yeah, because the website is also gmfst.com, so everything is going to be probably abbreviated in that way.
Okay, that sounds good. We will keep it to that, but if you have an opinion that you want to bring to Tyler's attention...
You really wanted to say the word again.
Listen, it's fine. In chat right now here on Twitch, you guys can let me know what you're thinking, and I will confront Tyler about your sports-related things. But big disclaimer about this, we've been repeating this, and it's fine if we have to repeat it. We'll probably have to repeat it for the entirety life of the podcast. This podcast is not just for people that like sports, because here's the thing. I don't watch sports. Yeah. I don't follow sports. Me as a person, I do not follow sports. I have an appreciation of sport. I think I've played some sports in my day. This is kind of like a preamble to the podcast. But really, why I'm here and why we're doing this is not only for people that enjoy sports to want to learn more about it, and eventually we'll get into the nuance of sports. Nuance.
You said it. Aww.
But it's so people that don't enjoy sports can understand why other people do and why it's more of a core human thing, and like competition is actually essential, at least friendly.
A part of like natural culture and society as well.
Exactly. As far as humans go, all the way throughout history, they've been doing some sort of like competition. Internal temp too high. My camera's gone.
Mine's gone too.
Oh no!
No! We're
right.
stuck in the ether.
Hang on, we'll just be doing the splash screen. I can move it here. I'm gonna move the the little splash screen here as I'm talking, so that people get an animated version of who we are. But if you have, remember your ejaculatories that you want to, if you want Tyler to answer, confront Tyler with your vitriol right now.
All I see is, oh no, they're dead.
We might be dead, but who knows? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to explain it again.
Somebody already brought up, can we talk about ice hockey? We literally have an ice hockey primer. It's the NHL hockey primer.
Yeah, what are you doing? Go listen to the podcast. It's called Go, my favorite sports team. Available on all podcast platforms.
Opinions on the Detroit Lions. They haven't been good for a while, so I don't know what to say.
Huh. This is gonna be a problem if these cameras can't last throughout a whole.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they've only been running maybe like an hour beforehand, but I don't know why I turned off the 4K. It's open on the back. It doesn't even feel that hot. Please come back to me.
Yeah, because that was we had talked with the camera people, and they said that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, it was. Turn yours off and back on again.
Where's the switch on this thing?
It's towards the shutter button, kind of buried under the microphone. And both. Hey, we're back. Blow on it. Go up there and you talk to him. I just put it on a close up of your lips.
I wonder is there like a way? I bet you we could get like a cooling case we can put around them.
What I would do is I would put like a radiator. You could buy like radiator things for electronic components, and they have little like fins to do that. But for now, we'll just go until it runs out of a temperature.
Great.
So anyway, did you guys have something you wanted to confront Tyler about? One terrible opinion that he had way back in the day or recently. Put an ice pack on it. We don't have an ice pack. I have ice, but I feel like if I put ice directly on the camera, it would be bad.
Yeah, water and electronics generally don't like to mix.
Generally don't, but it could be.
Who is Tyler's favorite Formula One driver? I don't know of any names off the top of my head, so no. Mm-hmm. My answer is,
Are the Jets the worst team in football?
No, because there's youth football teams that exist.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer. You're right. I bet the Jets could crush a youth little league. It would just crush them. Oh, when's the double Discord going up? We talked about doing it like live on stream, but we barely got this functioning. So we'll get that. I know it takes like 2 seconds to do, but I just have not had the wherewithal to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the idea we had talked about was actually having it being the podcast Discord just for both podcasts.
Have we done anything with the world of strongmen at all? No. But that is another area that I actually know quite a bit about. I've followed it. I know of Eddie the Beast Hall, I think just recently the world.
Yeah, the World Strongman competition.
But for some reason, UK does not broadcast that until Christmas. So we can't talk about it because it would be spoilers for some reason. And I don't think that's true, but someone said that, so I'm going to avoid that.
Interesting.
Yeah, also we are going to eventually have guests on Go. That is going to be a big feature of Go. Eventually, we'll need to get a third camera. That was why we had this, because we knew we were going to need a third camera and maybe even a fourth one. Oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do any of it. I don't want to set it up. I don't want to do it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
figure it out.
Oh, man. Because what I wanted to do is I want to have a camera, because I've got me, my camera, Tyler's camera, and then this both camera setup. What we want to do is set it up so that when one of us is talking, it'll feature that camera, much like, I think Zoom and Skype and any kind of meeting software does that. It's like it kind of features a person talking. That way I don't have to go like, I'm talking now. And then was that a talk? I'm
talking now. It's me. I'm over here.
And I'm over here now. And
it's me.
I don't want to have to think about that while I'm trying to think about how to answer anything about sports.
Or come up with questions for the guests.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wanted that to be more ubiquitous.
Yeah. And the reason we haven't officially scheduled the guest yet is we want to make sure that everything's refined so that when they arrive here, it's not us going, hold on a second, fixing something. We want to be professional here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, we have tons of ideas for things that we want to talk about, but we are always open to suggestions. If you put on the subreddit a really well thought out, not just a text voice being like, you should talk about, but maybe make a thread and talk about it in the thread instead of individual posts. That'd be great. But that way, hopefully, you can get a little more organized and we can get there. But we also have ideas for stuff that we want to do. So we got the things of you channeling your bad opinions and takes through me towards Tyler, or good takes, whatever it is. Upvote whatever you think would be a good discussion. We have guests incoming that we're going to have on board, and then hopefully with some of those guests we'll have video components to little challenges for me to try to learn more about the sports and Tyler to learn something. I don't know.
Or for us to compete against somebody who is very good at something and we're bad.
Exactly. And we have a pending challenge to do where Tyler is my butler for a day, and then once I crush him in whatever the hell
you're
we're doing,
already lost.
When I crush Tyler in this other challenge, he will be my driver for a day.
You mean you will be my chauffeur?
What if when you're my butler, I just make you drive me everywhere? And then I'll just say that I won both.
Wow, that's cheating.
No, it's efficiency. Anyway, yeah. Oh, right. We should totally have Alex on for a guest at some point. Alex, if you guys don't know, was my personal trainer. I say was because I haven't worked out with him in like half a year, and he wants to kill me, which is totally fair and valid, but he can't find me. So watch me be murdered when he's a guest. And also, we're kind of debating right now because we know we want to do a live show component of this, probably on Sundays.
Yeah.
What we don't know is if we're going to record the episode on that live stream and then edit that down. We don't know if the guests are going to be live. We don't know how we're going to do it. But one of the things we want to do is we want to be more topical to sporting things that are happening currently. And that's the thing about recording a podcast like weeks in advance is like it makes it difficult to do, to keep up with sports as they're happening then, which is kind of like the whole thing about sports is that they're happening now and always.
And especially with like different news that happens and comes in, because it's not always focused on like this person won or that person won. It's like, oh, this terrible injury happened. How does this affect this? And the rules.
Exactly.
There's the collective bargaining agreement, like when Major League Baseball was having a lockout, and I wanted to talk about that, but then the lockout was over and it didn't make sense to talk about. And like the current protests that are kind of happening with regard to gun violence that's going on in Major League Baseball with the manager of the San Francisco Giants. So there's a whole lot of stuff within sport that
because sport bleeds into the rest of the world. Like it is not just a separate category of life. For many people, it is like their life or their main hobby, which for some people is like their passion in life. And so when it comes down to understanding different people and what they prefer or what they want to do with their time or how they spend their time or what they get excited about or passionate about, sport is a big piece of it. It's really not a big piece for me, but it's growing, right? It's like the seed of this love for sport. I haven't watered it in a while. It's kind of withered. And
No,
frankly,
but
I haven't watched a single game since we started this podcast, not even the Super Bowl, which I was really supposed to watch because the Bengals were there and that's my hometown, but I didn't. But anyway. It's
And
growing.
you were in Cincinnati. You got to see Cincinnati
I
before
did.
the
I
Super
did.
Bowl,
Everyone was very excited about it. You know, who day? Did I tell you what happened when I flew in? Because I've lived in California for years now. I have a California driver's license. But when I flew in and I rented a car and we're going out and you got to show them your driver's license to get out with the car to prove that you didn't steal it or that you can drive. And this guy, he takes one look at my driver's license and it's California and he just looks at me. Bengals are going to crush the other team that I don't remember the name
Rams,
of.
Los Angeles.
The Rams. They're going to crush the Rams. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually from Cincinnati. And he hands it back. He's like, Bengals are going to crush the Rams. And I said, like, yeah, no, I'm rooting for the Bengals. They're like, you're going to go down. And he's like, I was not getting through to him that I was like, I'm from Cincinnati. I love you put chili on spaghetti. That's a good time for me. I know Cincinnati. It's like it just was not registering with him, but it was very funny. But no, I didn't watch the game. Anyway, so yeah, we have a lot more cool stuff in store for Go, but also just I think from Tyler and I both, we want to say thank you for her.
Yes.
It was a very experimental thought. An idea. We didn't know if it would really resonate with people in terms of
we didn't know if we'd even get a structure that would like work
Exactly.
and flow right.
Because it's a strange concept. It's a sports podcast for people that don't watch sports.
Yeah, and it's something that nobody has ever done before that I've ever seen, whether it's even on YouTube or anything like that. It's like teaching people after like. Because a lot of people grow up being an athlete, grow up around sports and grow up with sports, but not everybody experiences that. And so it's something that it just seems like it was an afterthought. All of the other podcasts and all of the other channels and everything, it's like you have to know the language. And if you don't, then it's like a barrier to entry.
Exactly. And that's what we recognized when we were brainstorming this at 2 a.m.
Before we filmed the outdoor scene.
I know.
Space.
If you remember, now we can actually talk about that. The camp scene. The freaking bugle. Oh my God, I love the bugle. Like it was before we went out to film that, so I think you were in your pigtails or whatever.
Yeah, I was in my pigtails. I was full uniform. They were still putting more patches. On my uniform.
And we were just like, we're talking like, man, we should do something because I'd been doing Distractable with the other guys, and it was just like, man, we have something, and you have always been passionate about sports. You've had this degree. If you guys remember, there was actually a video that we made together. Trying to put out a call to action like, hey, is anybody looking for a guy?
Yeah, the
job. And like nothing came out of that.
Well, actually, it sort of did. Leonhardt, who's a Pokemon creator.
Sure.
Me and him became friends because of that, because he has family that work in the sports industry. And so he had reached out, and it was probably so I ended up keeping in touch with him so much that when I moved out here, he came out, we ended up having lunch. So like a really nice friendship bloomed out of that. But like a job didn't, and that's fine. I ended up doing something that's even more fun and more interesting, and being on the internet and working with you. But it's still one of those things that it's like, just thinking back on all of those years, because I'll be fully honest with you. I fell out of love for sports because I couldn't find a job and how difficult it was to do that. So and because I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods for the longest time for minimum wage, I was just sitting there, and I would tell people like, you probably shouldn't get this bat, you should get this one, especially if you're trying to like improve your kid's swing and teach them proper mechanics for later on in life. And I had parents arguing with me, and I'm like, you don't understand how much I've looked in and know about this stuff. And I'm like, I'm a customer service rep. I can't be mean, but at the same time, I'm like...
But also you're holding a bat in your hands, and you're like, you want me to show you how much it'll improve your swing? But no, it's really cool. We were talking about before, but we weren't sure if there was a market, but it did seem like there was a gap. There's a gap because there are. I come from a completely like not removed world, but the world where I don't understand a lot of things about sport, but I also kind of have an appreciation for why. I do like certain things in sports. I love the creative clash. I like watching boxing breakdowns. I like boxing movies. I like certain sports. But everyone, what we want to address is the people that are so gut instinct about going like, oh, sports ball, because it's fine to not like sports. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to be okay for me with someone dismissing something they don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Because in a sense, it comes from a place of ignorance. And just because like people have this preconceived notion of the sports crowd as being relatively distractible type people. Wink, 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 wink.
My nod slowed as you continue down that sentence because I'm like,
But in all honesty, like the diversity of people that have an appreciation for sports is vast, just as vast as any other segment of humanity. And like it's something for everybody, and there is something in the sporting world for everybody.
and sport in
believe
itself has this significant cultural significance for the foundations of where it came from. I said significant so many times. There's a like it's a phenomenon within different cultures and how it affects their interactions and their like traditions and so many things that just voices history with sport. And it echoes the past, but it also gives you like echoes of the future too.
Exactly.
As things improve, as things happen, and the profound effect that sport have on society as a whole, especially with major events going on in the world where like social rights. Sports had a major impact on the social rights movement and the civil rights movement. And like right now, one of the biggest things.
My camera's gonna shut down.
No,
I'm gonna.
Marcus Dark.
They've taken me off the air.
And so it's one of those things that I want people to have at least a minor understanding before they dismiss it. Yeah, there are bad people that become athletes, and there are jerks in high school that treat you like crap.
Yeah.
I was very much a jock. People would define me as a jock in high school, but I was very much also a nerd, a geek. Like I was invested, and the majority of my close friends aren't the people I played sports with. They're the people that I met possibly through sports, but related on a deeper level for our interests outside of sport.
Yeah. Is your camera still good?
Yeah, my camera's no warnings, nothing.
Oh, man, well, it's just you talking to the void here. For those of you who don't know, we're talking about sports, but also Tyler and I, we have a podcast called Go! My favorite sports team.
I didn't know if you're going to fake me out again.
So you can find it on a podcast platform. It's a good listen. It gives you primers on everything. But there is something I want to say, but let me get my camera working first. Let's see.
Yeah.
We got to figure something out because this is not going to work if we...
Yeah, are losing cameras like that.
Doesn't even feel warm. Doesn't even feel warm.
Wonder if there's some sort of setting you can mess with.
I don't know. Either way. But there is something that I want to talk about, which I feel might be a little controversial, but I want to get it out in the open. Ethan is a coward because we had the greatest idea in the world for a video, which is where he would stand across the yard, pants down, bent over, butthole accessible. And I had a paintball gun, and we called it Sniper Paintball Enema. And he didn't want to do it. And it's just like, I feel like we got pepper sprayed for Unisonus, all these amazing things, once in a lifetime. And this guy just, he backed out. We were rolling, he was pants down. We were there. It was like, hell yeah. Like, I'm so proud of you, Ethan, for agreeing to do this, for wanting to do this, for this will be a great video. This might be the best video we've ever made. And he backed out last minute, and I couldn't believe it. I felt so betrayed, and I feel like I just need to get this out in the open right now. Because if I don't talk about it, then, it's just going to be something that weighs on my soul for the rest of my life.
That's
right?
fine, but you're not convincing me to do it.
Well, I mean, I wasn't saying you should do it, but if you wanted to do
No.
it, I'm just saying it'd be a good video. But I get it. You know, you didn't agree to it, and that's fine. You say no beforehand. The problem was Ethan said, yes, yes, yes. Shoot me in the butt with a paintball gun. Yes, yes, please, yes. He said yes so many times, yes. My God, I've only ever wanted, I'm quoting him, quote, oh my God, I've only ever wanted to do this video where you snipe me in the brown eye with a paintball gun. Please, let's make that video happen today. If not today, then tomorrow, but as soon as possible. End quote. And that's what he said to me, and that's what he said, and I feel like people should keep their promise.
Spoken like a true promise keeper.
I don't know what you're talking about. I keep all my promises.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
look, I'm not saying you guys should bring this up to him. I hear, you know, he's all high and mighty streaming with big streamer. Who's the streamer?
There's a number of them. There's a lot of them on there.
I get it. You gotta step on some people on the way to the top.
Mark!
But I'm not friends.
You are literally the worst right now.
I feel like he should be held accountable for his grievances.
I can't sit here during the rest of this. I can't. I am not associated with Mark's words.
The sins of the father. You know, they say the blood of the covenant is thicker
I
than
have
the water of the
boxing
womb.
tomorrow. My abs can't hurt now.
Anyway, I'm glad I got that out of off my chest. You know?
It sounds.
Do you think Ethan would sue me?
I don't think he would sue
defamation.
you. Because
All right, I'll keep going.
no.
He punched Chico.
What? No way. He definitely did not. I was like, Mark, stop your lies.
Just sucked her in the nose. I was like, Ethan, how could you?
If we're talking about that, you threw Chica in the air and she lay. There's video evidence.
This would be the greatest content ever if I somehow got Ethan to sue me.
Dude, YouTube beef.
I know, right?
Former friends.
Usually people make it behind closed doors. They don't usually make it live on here. So I feel like this is the only time for it. Really breaking new ground. Anyway, Ethan's chat is an emote.
Oh, you. Why did I think that was going to happen? What?
It's not my fault.
Yeah, but now I'm part of the blame because I'm over here on your stream.
Our stream.
It's our stream, but your channel.
Anyway, thank you everyone who's come here from Ethan's channel. Listen to Go My Favorite Sports.
Mark! At some point, hopefully, Ethan will guest appear on the podcast, but now I'm questioning if he wants to.
Oh man, you know it's the hustle. You always gotta hustle. The grind never stops. You know. I know how this whole streaming game works. You know, you just gotta poke. You gotta poke the bear wherever the bear may be. You know, you gotta punch up, down, left, right at everyone so that you get all the attention.
Is that why I'm not successful? On
Exactly, but you're with me now.
Oh God.
Anyway, yeah. So all of what I've said is true.
No.
Without a doubt. Everything I've said on this podcast is true.
No.
All right. Anyway. I'm sorry. I apologize for nothing but revealing the truth to the world. And anyway, so we'll leave it there.
Is that where you want to leave it, really?
Yeah, let's leave it there. Anyway, last checks on if anything was super a problem with the audio or anything like this. It should be the same thing that we do for our podcast normally, which is actually pretty nice quality, I imagine. I mean, I'm not a big fan of, this is me getting technical about things. I'm not a big fan of the Shure SM7B. I think it's an okay microphone. I don't think it's anything wonderful or incredible. It's a very flat microphone. It doesn't do anything for pizzazz for the voice, but I'm not going to spend $3,000, like Ethan does for his microphone.
What microphone does he have?
He has an incredibly high quality microphone.
Yeah, but I want to know what it is. Yeah,
I forget what the actual name of it is. It's a Neumann, I believe. It's a Neumann. It's like the Neumann, but I forget what the Neumann is.
The Neumann?
It's the Neumann. If anyone who knows anything about microphones knows which one I'm talking about. Audio is great, in sync with video. Tyler's camera just died.
Yep.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Tyler. R.I.P.
It does feel hot.
Yeah, the U87. So anyway, he's got an incredibly good microphone. It's actually, this is one of my biggest drawbacks is I actually, for as much as people probably think that I spend the most money on tech all the time, I actually don't. I bargain hunt a lot. You should have seen me talking about these goddamn cameras that are overheating instead of just paying an extra $500 a camera to get a better camera. I was like, what is the lowest price point camera that'll do exactly the bare minimum of what I want so that I can get a good deal? And yet here we are with cameras shutting down from temperature because I didn't pay the extra goddamn money for it. Goddamn. Stupid piece of shit. Anyway, I don't have anything to say about that. He's got a really good microphone. These are good, but just hoping that the audio quality and everything set up is good. If the sync is good, which it looks like it's good, we're going to get, again, we're running on the leftover HD60S and cam link that we had, but we've ordered more. Have we?
Yes.
We ordered
those
more.
have been officially ordered.
Okay, those have been officially ordered.
We even ordered better stands. Now I'm thinking I need to find the coolant tanks for these.
No, I mean, I don't even know if that's going to make a goddamn difference. I might just remove the back plate.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking break this warranty on this camera. But they're good cameras. They look good, so they'll be good. I've got we're going to get some cool lighting in here. We're going to get I want to get a custom eventually. I want a custom neon sign that says "Go!" exclamation. That's what I want. I want that. Can I have that?
Yeah, you can have that.
I can have that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can have that.
We'll put it right there in the middle of that red panel.
Okay, that'll be good. That'll be good. You guys can't see the rest of the room, but the room looks very nice for now. It will look better very soon. We want Go headquarters to be really, really high quality.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Lot more work to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot more work to be done, but thanks to you guys, we may have said it as a joke, but right now it is very weird. We actually are on Spotify the #1 sports podcast, so we feel some sense of obligation to earn that spot, but also I do not. Tyler does. I get to be the meme lord that I've always wanted to be in my life, and I just get to. What was I thinking? A clitoris.
Why?
Hit a random
back in your head again.
Yeah. I love this because #1, I get to listen to Tyler talk about sports, but then the whole episode, I just get my objective. If you didn't know, was just to try to make you laugh. The whole episode is to try to make you laugh. So.
You're trying to get me to die laughing like I do on.
If I can get that goose laugh, which I think I have for like one episode, and I did just a little bit ago, like you got 5 minutes ago, but that's my objective. So listen to the podcast. It's called Go, My Favorite Sports Team. We think you'll like it, and we got a lot of cool community engagement things to do for it.
And I'm gonna start giving Mark homework now.
What?
Yep. Mark is going to have to do at least a little bit of homework on occasion.
I didn't agree to this.
Yeah, huh?
I just said my only objective was to make you laugh and listen, and then I show up and I goof around.
Yeah, but you'll have some homework that could possibly, you can make it goofy. I'll keep it really open-ended for you.
I signed up to this to be the Wade of this podcast.
You can still be the Wade.
Okay, cool. He wouldn't do homework. I know that about him. He would not.
In high school, he definitely did homework.
He not anymore. I'm not trying to insinuate anything about Wade, but Wade is very much just like he shows up and throws chaos into it. That's like his job, and he does that job very well. And that's why I don't want to do homework. Do I have to?
I'm not giving you any right now.
Don't worry. Oh, okay. All right.
No.
God, I can't wait for you to hear. Not to talk about Distractable while we're talking about our podcast, but it's just like, I can't wait for you to hear the most recent version of it. It's just like, God, it's so fucking funny. I can't spoil any of it.
Is it the episode that comes out on tomorrow?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Wade hosts. Everything goes wrong.
That sounds about right for a Wade host.
It's so, to me, funny. To me, it was so fun. Just like Bob messing up and doing 3 topics that he'd already done before was the funniest shit in the world to me. This one also, just how wrong it went was the funniest shit to me. But anyway, that's for a less distinguished crowd than the crowd that we currently have here. If you would like to go check out Go, you got to go to Spotify or iTunes or any podcast place. Search for it. Go, my favorite sports team. The logo looks like this, which is me and Tyler. And Tyler says that this does not look like him.
I think it looks like a goblin version of
What do you mean it looks like a goblin version of you? That looks like you.
No.
Hang on. I'll prove it to you that looks like you, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this image. Here, copy. Here. Paste. Here. It's you. I'm talking to you. You can't see it yet, but clearly.
I'm waiting on the delay.
Yeah, clearly there. Put your head in your camera like you would be for that image. It's a spit. It's a carbon copy. It's a carbon copy. It's a carbon copy. It's. Now tilt your head down. Be more angry. Pull your fro out of your face a little bit, just a little bit from the side, just like your mutton chops. Get your mutton chops out of the way. There we go. Yeah, that's good. It's a carbon copy. Tilt your head down a bit. Down more. Good. Right there. Smile. It's a carbon copy. It's very you. It looks extremely you. I'm like, it's clearly you. See, everyone agrees. It's a caricature, obviously, just like me. Me is how would I do? Okay, let me put See, me. Mine. I'm dead. My camera turned off. You get this. This is the rest of the podcast. It's a caricature version. It's an artistic rendition. Anyway, so we'll close it out like this. Anyway, so we got some technical difficulties to work out for this podcast, but look forward to cool stuff in the future.
You know what? I'm starting to like the goblin-ish version of me.
I always like the goblin version. It's not the goblin. It's just you. It's a drawing.
I got him to say
No, it's a drawing of you. That's what
I got you to call it the goblin version, though. Success.
I mean, whatever you want to say, success. You could call it the goblin. My neck isn't big enough. That's fair. And let's see if we can get this back up. I don't know what we're gonna do about this.
I can't.
Are you doing your fetish on stream? Stop choking yourself.
No, I can't touch. I can't. My hands are. This is as close. This is my circumference of my neck squished a little bit.
I don't know why you felt the need to measure that.
Somebody brought up the thickness of necks, and I was like, I have a thick neck.
This looks like a fetish thing. I mean, straight up. It's just like thank you for listening to our sports podcast. Glad you stopped by. Go, my favorite sports team. It's Go with an exclamation. My name is Ben Mark, I guess. You know, this is my Twitch channel, so I guess you would know.
And I'm Tyler. I am not dead.
It's not my man. He did it first. His camera just died. All right, well, I guess it's only videos. We're just going to go to the splash screen. Hey, thanks, guys. We're going to go. We got some things to work on. This is not going well. But, hey, subreddit, podcast, #1 sports podcast right here. This is the #1 sports podcast.
No, this is your channel. It's not on the GMFST channel yet.
You're right, yeah. But this, what you just saw was a little slice of what will probably be for a while longer the #1 sports podcast in the world.
At least it'll fall off, and then another animation will post and will go up there again.
Honestly, I don't think so. I think it's only. I think we are going to solidify the #1 slot.
I hope so. I hope people that are creating a new sports podcast look at ours and go, "What the hell?"
I guarantee you that's already been happening. Tom Brady's podcast, which is apparently called Let's Go, looks at our podcast called Go, and it's like, what the fuck? What the hell? What the hell? Which is what?
Defeat them. I'm the champion of the world.
Yeah, which is, if you didn't know, that's what Tom Brady sounds like. What? What?
This can't be possible.
How could they do this to me? No. Anyway, I'm going to go now. All right. Bye, guys. Wait, no, let's raid Ethan. But be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Don't be rude.
Oh, God. What have I done?
I don't know. Why'd you do it?
I don't know. I just defame. It's my instinct. I woke up defaming. That's what I do.
You were born defaming.
I popped out the womb defaming. I just can't help it. All right, I'm going to raid now. Do I have to wait to raid? Or do I just click the button?
I don't know. How do you have your delay set up?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm going to click the button.
Okay, you click the button.
I clicked it. Am I still live on my channel, or do I have to go offline?
I think you have to end stream after you raid.